Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Doorway Sports Podcast, episode number 2. Your host, Austin Bronstad, here back again.
With Heithem Azzain.
Lord, that was okay. Anyways, we're going to do power rankings, and we're going to start off at 32, work our way down to 1. So, my pick for the worst team in the NFL, obviously, is the Miami Dolphins. I do think they did make some good acquisitions. I think getting Rosen for a second-round pick was a pretty good steal. Their secondary has a couple guys, Minka and their corner. They're pretty trash, honestly. That's all I have to say.
Wow. My 32nd ranked team is still the Arizona Cardinals. I did not like the Kyler Murray pick. I don't think Kyler Murray is going to be a very good NFL quarterback. I'm going to get a lot of backlash for that. I just don't think he is. I don't think he's tall enough. I know. My bad.
Wow. You're short too. Why are you hating on small
height.
people?
We're the same height. Me and Kyler Murray are the same height.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Kyler's 5'10".
He's not 5'10".
Okay, but
he's 5'9".
Either way, you're
look.
Why are you hating on small people?
Look. I just don't think he's going to be that good. I didn't say he's going to be trash. I didn't say he was going to be... I don't think he's going to be... He's not number 1 overall. Okay? That's my opinion. I did like the rest of their draft. I thought they should have went Bosa, number 1, because they needed edge help. But they didn't. Oh, well. They picked 2 quarterbacks, top 10, back-to-back years. But fuck that. Let's trade Rosen for a second. Pardon my language. They still have Larry around. He's going to be a great mentor to the new guys. Patrick Peterson also getting suspended for the first, is it 7 games? 6?
6.
So yeah, that's guaranteed 0-6 start, considering he's your best player. And
yeah,
I don't see the Cardinals doing very well this year. I probably have them at 3-13, 4-12. I don't think Kyler Murray's going to do that great. He'll probably throw for 3K and 20 touchdowns, 15.
That's not a bad rookie year.
3K and 20 touchdowns with 15
That's
interceptions.
not a bad rookie year for what he has around him.
Yeah, I mean,
his offensive line especially.
Because did they get JJ Arcega-Whiteside?
No,
or was
Philly
that
did.
Yeah, that was the Eagles.
They have Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, Hakeem Butler.
Andy Isabella.
That's the receiver I was thinking about. They drafted those 2 receivers.
And they have Christian Kirk already.
Christian Kirk is going to be. I think he's going to be a good player. The Silver Fitzgerald. I still don't think they're going to be that good. They don't have their offensive line is the worst in the NFL. That's also a reason I don't think they're going to be very good. Yeah. David Johnson somehow went off the face of the earth. He was once a top.
Well, he got hurt. I think from what I've heard, he's supposed to bounce back this year.
I don't know. I don't think he.
His goal is 1K and 1K.
I think he's very capable of doing that when he was playing at his best. But I don't know that. We need to move on.
Anyways, okay. My pick at 31. I've got the Buccaneers. They were already really weak, and then they let Humphreys, the receiver, walk. They lost some of their offensive weapons that they really didn't have that many of.
And Deshaun
Jackson. I didn't even think about that. Winston obviously has a huge problem with turnovers. He kind of needs to be fixed, for lack of a better word. And I think Arians could do that. But we'll see. Devin White is the biggest sign of hope the Buccaneers franchise has. I think that was a great pick for them, and he'll step in for Quan Alexander easily. But I mean, really, the Devin White pick is their only really sign for hope and them doing any better.
At 31, I also had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think Jameis Winston. I didn't think he was the best quarterback coming out of that class. I think Mariota was. I also thought Mariota and Winston were going to be a lot better than what they actually were, and by God, they were not. We'll talk about Mariota later, but Winston was he has a very bad turnover problem. He has off the field issues. He keeps struggling with his weight. I mean, Winston needs to be all in or not. I don't think he can be your franchise quarterback if he doesn't make that change, because he has shown signs of hope that he can play well. And that Buccaneers team has shown that they can play well. They started off 2-0 with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
3-0, I think.
Oh, well,
3-0.
I remember the Fitzmagic games, 400 yards back-to-back, absolutely slinging the rock out there.
Oh, yeah. And he did it versus good teams, too. I think one of them was just the Saints.
It was Saints and Philly.
No, Philly was game 3, I think.
Oh.
Philly was the 3rd week, I'm pretty sure. It might have been week 2.
I think it was week 2, because they knocked off. Been. Yeah. Because they beat Breeze and then they beat Philly, I'm pretty sure.
That might be. But
because if Ryan Fitzpatrick can get it done, I think Jameis Winston can.
Everybody mark it down. We actually agreed on something.
Yeah,
this is really rare.
Their D-line made a horrible decision. They downgraded, in my opinion. I thought Gerald McCoy was better than Ndamukong Suh.
And they lost Vinny Curry.
They let Quan Alexander walk. They did draft Devin White. That's a good sign of hope, but their secondary is absolutely atrocious.
Their best corner is what? Brent Grimes?
I forgot Brent Grimes still played.
I'm pretty sure
I wanted to say it was Brent Grimes.
And Grimes spent most of the year hurt, and
Yeah.
he's old as hell by now.
He's like 33.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Grimes is a decent person.
He's solid.
Decent player. But anyways, we're going to move on. So at 30, I put the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is probably the first team I think that actually could be a playoff type team if everything works out perfectly for them. Like, they need Joe Mixon to just have an absolutely insanely good year. Their defense is definitely going to need guys to step up. Losing Burfict. They released him, didn't they?
Yeah.
They released Vontez Burfict.
About fucking time.
Their offensive line isn't very good. They have good receivers. They have A.J. Green and Tyler Boyd. They have some weapons. They're just going to need everybody to step up.
What's that safety? I want to say Jesse something. They have William Jackson III at corner. They have Jeremy Bates, right? Is that who it is? The safety.
Jeremy Bates is a tight end.
Hold on, I need to find their safety's name.
Oh man, okay. Hathem's gonna sit here and
because he is a baller, bro. He can play.
All right, this is like the third time today you've had to stop and look up a player because you can't remember who it is.
Dude, I have to. I can't.
Oh man, come on, dude. You couldn't even remember your own Chiefs linebacker.
Jesse Bates, that's his name.
Jesse Bates.
Jesse
Okay,
Bates.
it is.
He is a baller.
I was thinking of Jesse James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse Bates, he can play, bro.
Yeah, you see, I think the Bengals could be a playoff team. I mean, it's too early, obviously, to really say anything.
There's no way that they're a playoff team.
I mean, nobody thought the Bengals or the Bucks would start the year 3-0 last year.
And they missed the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because they fell apart. I mean, I really do think
Didn't the Bengals start 4-1?
And the Bengals got a new head coach who, from what I've heard, has had a really positive impact inside. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
My 30th team is the Oakland Raiders. Playing in the AFC West, I think they're gonna go 1-5. They'll lose twice to the Chiefs, twice to the Chargers, and they'll always beat the Broncos somehow. They'll find a way.
I don't know, man. Joe Flacco's elite. Remember?
Joe Flacco is not elite.
For anyone listening, I do not think Joe Flacco is elite.
They're still paying Case Keenum, even though he's in Washington.
Yep.
Because of that guaranteed money. I
think Drew Lock in the second was actually a good pick.
Drew Lock was a good pick. Because it's somebody
they were going to pick at 10, and then all of a sudden they're picking him at 54.
Yeah, I mean, I like Drew Lock, but I don't think he's going to be the next godsend like Drew Brees.
Yeah. I think he can be a starter. I think he can be a good starter.
Who is he comparable to?
Mariota.
Joe Flacco.
I think he's got more arm strength and speed than Flacco.
But, I mean, they lost Demaryius Thomas. They have Emmanuel Sanders coming off a torn Achilles. Cortland Sutton. He's all right. He's very...
Cortland Sutton and Hamilton are both pretty good receivers.
Yeah, but they're both inconsistent.
They're both young.
Yeah. I mean, I watched...
And Sutton was battling Thomas for playtime, too, until they traded him.
I watched a lot of Broncos games, considering I'm a Chiefs fan. But Von Miller's getting up there in age. He's still a great leader. Bradley Chubb is a bright spot. Why are we talking about the Broncos?
I don't know why you're talking about the Broncos. You're supposed to be talking about
the Raiders.
Oh, man. I guess we have a little preview of what Hathem's going to talk about later with the Broncos.
When did we get on the...
You talked about how you've seen a lot of Broncos games because the Raiders always beat the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not working with the smartest person,
back
people.
To the
Please
Raiders.
Support me.
I'm sorry for getting off track. The Raiders. I watch a lot of Raiders games, too, because... Same reason. All right, Derek Carr... I don't know what happened after he messed up.
He was good. He played well the second half of the semester. The second half of the year. Sorry, I'm used to college talk.
I think he's middle of the pack quarterback. I think that MVP season was a fluke.
I think the MVP season was. I do think he improved a lot the second half.
Yeah,
of last year.
I think he'd be a top half quarterback. I don't think he'd be a top 10. He could float around like the Alex Smith range.
Yeah.
The Raiders, they drafted the running back.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs out of Alabama. They drafted
What kind of
Cleveland.
preparation is this? I expect better from you.
I'm sorry. All right, Cleveland Farrell at 4 was a. I'm sorry, that was a bad pick.
I think he's one
Josh
of the more.
Allen. Josh Allen was 10 times better.
100% should have picked Allen, but I do think Cleveland Farrell is going to step in and be
He's
the most
gonna be good.
NFL-ready defensive lineman besides Bosa and Williams.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think Allen will be more ready.
Well, Josh Allen's supposed to play some edge linebacker.
Yeah, he's in
which is perfect for him because he's great at coverage too. Very underrated.
He's kind of like Khalil Mack.
Anyways, we're gonna stop.
We're talking about the Raiders. Okay, the Raiders.
Okay, come on. Let's hear it.
Okay. Defense horrible. They were the worst in the NFL at sacks last year. They're gonna generate no pass rush again this year. I'm gonna predict them at 23 sacks, 12 more than what they had last year. I think Arden Key is gonna improve a little bit. I thought he was a very interesting player coming out of last year's draft. He had a lot of off the field issues, which caused his stock to fall. Corners, nothing really notable. Safeties, they're both
Gary
old.
and Conley. Conley's good, dude.
It's Conley. It's like,
Conley's good.
Your name's Conley. You're not a god with the last name Conley.
Okay.
Okay, linebackers, they're just there, man. They got Vontaze Burfict. And they have Antonio Brown. Whatever. He's just gonna be Antonio Brown. He's just gonna get his numbers, whine, and bitch. That's all he's gonna do.
Language.
What are they? I'm sorry.
Anyways, so we're going to move on. At 29, I put his worst team. I put the Cardinals. I think they drafted extremely well. I think the offensive line is going to hold the offense back the most out of anything. If they want to have a good year, David Johnson is going to have to return to what he was a couple years ago when he was discussed as the best running back in the league. He set his goal at 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing. I do think he's good enough to do that if he's healthy. I think the loss of Patrick Peterson is going to hurt a ton for those first 6 games. I do think Byron Murphy was a great pick, and when Pat Pete comes back, that secondary is going to be really good. Having Budda Baker, Patrick Peterson, and Byron Murphy. They improved at linebacker. They got Jordan Hicks. It's just one of those teams that they're not competitors yet, but they're moving in the right direction. They picked their franchise quarterback, and they're moving in a way that they're trying to get better.
I had the Dolphins at 29, which he had as the worst team.
Wow.
I think the Dolphins got an absolute steal in Josh Rosen. I like Josh Rosen as a quarterback.
I do too.
I thought he was the most NFL-ready quarterback in last year's draft. I didn't think he was the best. My quarterback rankings were Baker, Lamar, Rosen, and then Allen.
Another debate for another time that you're going to get a lot of crap for.
Lamar Jackson's a god, all right?
Lamar Jackson's a running back, apparently.
He's not a running back. We're talking about the Dolphins. They need to make improvements to their O-line. I think Laramie Tunsil's a great tackle. He can play a very solid football. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 tackle in the NFL. I think Mika Fitzpatrick, great hybrid corner safety player. He's very good. They need to improve their linebacker position, and they do need to get more edge rush help. I think their secondary is fine. Xavier Howard was a great extension.
That's the corner I was trying to think of earlier.
Yeah. Xavier Howard was great. They still have Albert Wilson, Kenny Stills. They have good weapons on offense. Kenyon Drake out of the backfield is a good running back. I can't think of their tight end, though.
I have no clue, honestly.
I don't know who their tight end is.
I can't think of it.
But I think the Dolphins are headed in the right direction. I think that they have a chance to go solid 6-10 or 7-9. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they're going to be better than what they would have without Josh Rosen. And I'm glad that they traded it. For just a second, that's a steal, considering they were thinking about getting him in last year's draft anyway. So I like it.
Okay, 28, I have the Giants. It's honestly just an absolute shit show in New York.
Yes, it is.
You have Saquon on offense, and then you have, I guess, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, and Golden Tate.
Golden Tate, baby.
Their offensive line is getting better.
Oh, no.
Still not good, but it's
horrible.
improving a little bit.
I mean, they got Will Fernandez.
You traded away Odell, who was arguably the best receiver in the NFL.
You're still paying him.
I would consider putting him there. And
they're still paying Odell.
You get rid of Landon Collins, and you don't even get anything back for him, really. You get rid of Olivier Vernon. I mean, they have a ton of holes to fill that they just gave away, basically. They gave up Snacks Harrison
for
like a fourth or a fifth.
I think it was a fifth or a sixth to the Lions last year.
It might have been. But, I mean, they were just giving away some of their best players, and their really only bright spot is their secondary is really young. They have some talented guys. They have Sam Beal, who they picked in the complimentary last year, who's supposed to be good.
They got
DeAndre Baker. I think they could be decent in the next 3 to 4 years. I think Daniel Jones was a horrible pick at 6.
I don't even want to talk about it. I literally don't.
Anyways, we're going to let Heithem give y'all his 28th.
All right, my 28th was the Cincinnati Bengals. Granted, we'd already touched on the Bengals a little bit. I have a lot to say. It's the same as Austin. I think they're going to be all right. I just don't think that they're going to be great, and they might have a high chance at a pick next year. I think they should start looking at replacements for Andy Dalton. You know, the Red Rocket had his little run. I think it's about the time to let the Rocket down. I don't know. What happens?
Why did you bring in Red Rockets to this?
What happens to rockets after they come back from space? I don't know. Like.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that analogy.
27.
Okay, 27. I've got the Oakland Raiders. Heithem had them lower on his list, but I mean, really, a lot of teams lower on the list are really interchangeable. The Raiders added some offense. They got Josh Jacobs. They got Antonio Brown. I think Derek Carr's a lot better than people give him credit for.
He's not.
I didn't like their draft that much, but I think Cleveland Farrell will come in and be a decent player. I think Jacobs was a good pick. I think they have obviously a lot of room to improve, but I mean they're an NFL team. They're on their way moving back up.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What would you rather have, Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper, or those first 3 draft picks?
I'd rather have Khalil Mack and not Amari Cooper. Because Amari Cooper was horrible for the Raiders. He couldn't catch a ball to save his life.
He was just inconsistent.
He had a ton of drops, dude.
Yeah, he was just inconsistent. He also didn't like the Raiders.
I mean, exactly. You don't want him there if he doesn't like it there. So, I mean, they made the right move.
But if you don't...
And they don't have to pay him now, considering he's asking... Look, we're going to get into that later.
Okay.
Anyways, okay.
At my 27, it's the Giants. We already touched on them.
Saquon's going to have to carry
Who the fuck is running the Giants? All right, Dave Gettleman, you're an absolute failure.
Even people inside the Giants organization have said, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, they're just like, I don't know what he's doing. Especially picking Daniel Jones. They were like, what the hell?
Yeah, nobody...
And he was like, oh, well, we know there were teams going to pick Daniel Jones before we picked him. And everybody said, no, nobody was going to pick him.
Nobody looks at Daniel Jones' film as like, that's a fucking top 10 quarterback.
Oh, no.
It's like... No.
I mean, the only way that this makes sense is if, like, Eli and Peyton Manning were like, yeah, we know this guy. Yeah,
okay,
pick him.
Look, I hate to put the race stimulate, right? Whenever there is a number 1 black quarterback in the draft, right? When the best quarterbacks are black, why are there randomly 2 white guys who are apparently going to be better than them?
Doorway Sports, host of the biggest hot takes in the country.
Cam Newton. Who is in it? I don't even remember. There was a class of Cam Newton, was it 2011?
Cam was number 1, dude.
Yeah, but he was but there was rumblings about how the other 2, I think it was Christian Ponder, how Christian Ponder could be a better quarterback than Cam Newton.
I know Cam was 1 that year and Von Miller was 2.
Yeah, I know that. The same thing with what's his name?
Come on, we're moving on.
All right,
let's go.
Sorry, whatever.
Let's go. All right, 26. I had the Denver Broncos. I think their defense is awful. Besides 3 players. I mean, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, and Chris Harris are going to have to carry that defense, basically, because they blew up their secondary that they used to have. They have some good youth receiver we already touched on. I think Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton are both great receivers.
Great?
Or not great, obviously.
They're starters.
I think they're good receivers.
They're starters.
They're good players.
They're not good. They're starters.
Okay. Anyways, I think Drew Lock is going to be a solid quarterback. I don't think he's going to play this year. I think Joe Flacco will probably play the entire year for them.
He'll play the entire year.
Philip what's his
Lindsey.
Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman are a good running back duo. I think the Broncos have the talent to be a decent team on offense, and their defense is going to be carried by their defensive line, basically, or by the pass rushers, basically. That's all I got about that.
My 26 is the Buffalo Bills. The Bills. Wow. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. That's what the Bills stand for. All right. Josh Allen, I think he'll have a decent season next year, same as before. I think they need to get rid of McCoy. I think LaShawn McCoy needs to go. He's taking up a lot of salary cap.
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah.
He's always
been injury prone. Ed Oliver, I thought was a great pick. You know, they still have a very good defense. I think a top 10 defense. It's just their offense. They need a lot of O-line help. The receivers aren't very good. Zay Jones is only known for getting back up without using his hands.
He's a decent slot receiver.
He's all right. But
they signed Adam Humphries too.
Ooh, Adam Humphries.
I'm about to talk about him in a minute, so we can move on. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah, just boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Bills.
All right, I put the Bills at 25. I think Ed Oliver might have been the best pick in the draft. The fact that he fell all the way to 9 is insane to me.
Best value for sure. Because I thought Ed Oliver was a top 5 player in the draft.
Ed Oliver was I think he was top 3. I put Quinnen, Nick Bosa, Ed Oliver. Those are my top 3.
Quinnen, Nick Bosa, Ed Oliver.
Those were my top 3 in this last draft. I think that was a great pick. I think getting Humphries was a decent signing. Cole Beasley should help the receivers, help out Josh Allen, have another guy to check the ball down to. The O-line has gotten a little bit better. I think the defense still has some areas that they need to improve, but Buffalo's always been pretty good at getting more out of the talent that they have. And I think Josh Allen could take a huge step up. I was actually a fan of Josh Allen. I don't know. A lot of people hated Josh Allen. I think he's actually going to be pretty good. But, I mean, obviously, I got the Bills at 25, so.
My 25th is the Washington Redskins. With the cap hold not being released on Alex Smith and him already being confirmed not to be able to play this 2019 year is a big setback for him. They did get Dwayne Haskins in the draft. They also have Case Keenum for absolutely no reason. I have no reason why they traded for him at all if you know you're going to draft the quarterback. But that's none of my business. Darius Geis is coming back. You have Adrian Peterson to help mentor him. You have decent receivers. Jordan Reed, if he stays healthy. Trent Williams did request a trade or to be released today. That happened today. That. Yeah, that's why I have him ranked so low. Because they're losing a top 3 left tackle in the NFL.
Yeah.
Dude's great. Safety, they have DJ Swearinger still. Linebackers,
And they signed Landon Collins.
Yeah, they did sign Landon Collins as well. Josh Norman needs to be cut or something like that. Dude, he's not very good. He's slow.
He checked out since Carolina.
He just wanted the money.
He posted a video the other day of all of his just like getting burnt or getting mossed. It was just like a 1 minute long video, and he was just like, "I understand my failures." Okay, good for you, buddy.
Wow.
We all see it too, because you're getting burnt every game.
Yep. That's all I have to say about the Redskins, really, though.
All right, at 24, I put the Jets. I think Darnold can take the next step. He actually told Adam Gase the other day. Adam Gase finally raised his voice at him, and Sam Darnold goes, "Finally, you're getting on my ass." He was like, Sam Darnold was mad because Adam Gase wasn't getting on him about doing things badly. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
like, Darnold's trying to get better. Yeah. Like, Darnold is actually trying to get coached. I think Quinnen Williams was an amazing pick. I think he's going to be a great player. Like I said, I had him as the best player in the draft. Jamal Adams is an absolute beast, but they still have a lot of work to do on defense. They still have an iffy receiver core. I mean, they have Robbie Anderson, but Anderson has off-the-field troubles all the time, and everybody else is kind of questionable after that.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, the Jets just have a lot of work to do before they're ready to compete, and I don't like Adam Gase that much as a coach. I think him running McCagnon out of town like that was just... It was weird.
You had the Jets at 24?
I had the Jets at 24, yeah.
I have the Jets at 24. And
we agreed twice.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I don't really have anything else to touch on about
Somebody put it on the calendar.
Le'Veon Bell.
This has never happened. Le'Veon Bell was a good addition.
Great
But,
pickup.
I mean, Adam Gase didn't want him or C.J. Mosley, apparently.
Which makes absolutely no sense. C.J. Mosley, yeah. Great signing as well. I think they did overpay a little bit for the free agents, but nobody was going there if they weren't going to get overpaid.
I think at this point, everybody's getting overpaid through free agency and stuff.
They just need to bump up the cap.
Yeah.
A lot.
23, I put the Redskins. I thought they had an amazing draft. I thought getting Montez Sweat late in the first was a great pick. He's going to be an absolute animal. I I think Haskins at 16 was awesome for them. If they're a healthy team, they're good enough to push for a playoff spot. I mean, they were in first in the NFC East for a while until injuries just doomed their season.
I thought they were going to win if Alex Smith didn't get hurt.
Injuries just doomed their season, and they just fell apart. They ended up on their fourth-string quarterback.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they
obviously...
Signed what was that dude's name? He hadn't played in the NFL for like 9 years.
Yeah, the guy from the Canadian, Josh Johnson or something like that. Yeah. But, I mean, they have, like you said, Darius Geis is coming back, and they'll have Adrian Peterson as a mentor, which will be great for him. And Geis was a great running back coming out of college. So if he's healthy, then that's a huge win for their offense. But staying healthy is going to be their big issue. They've already had one guy tear his ACL, Reuben Foster.
Yeah, they're pickup.
But yeah, I think the Redskins are one of those teams they can push for probably a wild card spot if they do get in the playoffs, but I don't know if they're going to be able to.
My 23 is the Denver Broncos. I think Joe Flacco is going to absolutely shoot the bed for the Broncos. I don't think he's going to play very well. I don't like the Broncos' offensive scheme. It's not very good. I think Phillip Lindsay was a little tad bit overrated. He does play very good, but we only had a year of film on him, so now teams are going to be able to scheme against him a lot better. I don't think they have the down-the-field threat anymore.
I think Royce Freeman will be a good duo with Lindsay,
I mean, they'll be all right, but I don't think they're going to be top tier or anything. I think the Broncos have a solid chance to go 8-8. You already touched on them a lot, so I'm just going to let that sizzle out.
All right, 22, I have the Detroit Lions. I think Hawkinson was a good pick. I think it was a really unexpected pick because I don't think anybody expected Hawkinson to be there because the Jaguars didn't expect Hawkinson or Josh Allen to be there. They did expect Hawkinson. They didn't expect Josh Allen.
I didn't think Hawkinson should have been top 10 pick, though.
Nobody thought Daniel Jones was going to be picked that high.
No.
But I think Hawkinson was still a decent pick. He's the best tight end coming out of the draft. He looks like an absolute animal. He can block, he can catch, he can do pretty much everything for you. That'll be a good weapon to add to Stafford. Having another year where they finally have found their full-time running back will be huge, but I wouldn't get your hopes up if I was a Lions fan on any type of real playoff push.
So, I have the Lions at 22 as well.
3 times, baby. Put it on the calendar.
I agree with basically everything you said. There's not much. Darius Slay is a bright spot, but he's getting up there in age. I think you need to start thinking about moving on from him while he still has a lot of trade value. But the Lions, man, y'all need a lot of draft picks. Start looking at replacements for Matthew Stafford because he's not going to win you a championship.
All right, 21, I have the 49ers. I actually think they have a lot of talent, and I love their coaching staff.
Oh, my God.
I love their coaching staff, actually.
I have the 49ers at 21.
Wow. Okay.
We can talk about this at the same time. Jimmy G coming back, that's good.
Oh, yeah. And McKinnon.
Tevin Coleman. And
McKinnon.
And who's that other running back?
Jarek McKinnon.
No.
Yes,
the white one.
Oh, the guy that played rugby. I can't think of his name.
No, I'm not talking about that one. Is that?
Yeah, it is. Same guy. I'm pretty sure it is.
No.
Anyways, they have that. Nick Bosa was argued by some people as the best player in the draft. He's going to step in immediately and be like, he's basically going to be the same as Joey Bosa. They're going to get sacks at the same time. They're going to get big clumps of sacks, and then there will be games where they can't do anything. But I mean, really, they've improved a lot. They got some good draft picks. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back and how good Kyle Shanahan can lead that offense.
I was very disappointed though in the fact that they didn't get AB or Odell, two big time receivers on the market, and they couldn't land.
I'm a big fan of Marquise Goodwin though.
Yeah,
he's a blazing receiver.
Yeah, he's blazing, but he has that game where he'll go for 200.
Oh yeah. I mean, he'll open up the offense, though. He does a great job of getting deep and opening up the offense.
He doesn't do it consistent enough, though. I do think he's a great player. Great story, too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so 20, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Nick Foles was a solid pickup. I don't think he's going to be their answer for forever. He's really inconsistent. He played decent throughout the playoffs. I mean, if you watch the Saints game, the first half and even the second half, he missed some big time throws that could have swung that game.
He also hit some big throws too.
He definitely hits big throws. Don't get me wrong.
I think if Jeffrey doesn't drop that pass, I think y'all are going to the championship.
I think they could have made the comeback, but I mean, let's not dwell on that. Anyways.
Yeah, we know.
Anyways, I mean, I think they're doing all right. They need some weapons at receiver, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, he's thrown to what? Keelan Cole, and that's it? Who else do they have? They have some work to do.
DJ Chark.
They obviously have some work to do at receiver. They drafted pretty well. I think having Leonard Fournette healthy would be huge for them because Leonard Fournette can just pound it for the Jaguars, and then Foles can it'll open everything up for Foles to throw better. But if Foles is extremely inconsistent. I mean, he'll be great for 2 games, and then he'll be the worst quarterback you've ever seen for 2 games.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot up to what the defense and Leonard Fournette are able to do. But anyways, that's all.
My 20 is the Tennessee Titans. I don't really know what the Titans are just kind of in a very awkward position. You got Mariota's 5th year coming up. He's going to be wanting an extension here shortly. He's not panned out to what you want him to be, and you had to sign Ryan Tannehill as backup because he can't stay healthy. I think Derrick Henry is extremely inconsistent, even though he absolutely raped the Jaguars last year on that Monday. Was it Monday night?
No, it was
Sunday night. No, it was a night.
Monday. It was Monday.
It was a Monday night?
I think it was.
Oh my God, absolutely torched him. But I don't think he's a top 5 running back. I don't think anything about that for him. Not great wide receivers. Tight ends, meh. D-line is there. Jarrell Casey and others. Old. Linebackers, I mean, you got Jayon Brown. And who did they draft? They drafted
Josh Allen. Yeah. Jaguars picked Josh Allen, didn't they?
We're talking about the Titans.
Oh, my bad. We're talking about the Titans. Yeah. The Titans...
Who did they pick?
I don't remember. Talk about other stuff and I'll look it up.
The Titans, I mean, their corners are just... they have a Dory Jackson, but I don't know. The Titans are just there for me.
They did get A.J. Brown. They picked AJ in the 2nd round. They got Jeffrey Simmons.
The defensive tackle. That's who it was.
Which if he's healthy,
he can play.
He's a beast.
Okay,
but.
so yeah, that's what. So okay, the Titans. Here's the thing about the Titans. They're that team who can beat anybody on any given Sunday. But they're also the team that can lose to anybody on any given Sunday. Yeah. They have some games where they just lose. They just whiff uncontrollably. And it's just so annoying to watch a team with great potential just fizzle out like that.
Yeah. 19, I put the Carolina Panthers. When Cam was healthy, they were amazing last year. They were doing amazing.
They were 5-1, 6-1.
They were like 6-0. Or they might have lost 2 games and then went 6-0 or something. I'm pretty sure they went on a 6-game win streak at some point.
Yeah.
But I mean, they just absolutely went off, and then Cam got hurt, and everything just fell apart for them.
Oh, dude.
I think Will Grier was a solid pick because if Cam can't go, I think Will Grier is a good enough quarterback to step in and win a few games.
Keep him at 8-8.
Their defense looks to be solid. You have Bradbury at corner. Really, the Panthers look like a solid team who could be great or they could be mediocre. You really don't know.
My 19 is actually the Jacksonville Jaguars. I pretty much agreed with everything Austin said on it, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. We want to get this video.
Glad you have a huge opinion.
I agreed basically with everything you said.
This is weird.
This
never happens.
Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in football.
For anyone that doesn't know us, we really don't agree that often in sports.
So this is awkward. This really is.
Okay, 18, I got the Packers. I think they had a decent draft. I don't like them that much.
They have Aaron Rodgers.
I don't care. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to last the whole season. Stay healthy.
Oh, my God.
I don't think he can. I think he's a great quarterback.
I'm fucking mad at you. See, this is the shit we're talking about. Fucking Packers at 18.
I love it. I think Aaron Rodgers is a great player.
They had a great free agent class.
I still don't think Aaron Rodgers is that good enough to carry that team.
He's the most talented quarterback the football has ever seen.
He's got to stay healthy, too.
I don't care. You're dumb.
Hatham's about to cry, everybody.
I'm so mad.
Oh, man.
Why?
Anyways, I like Jair Alexander. I think he played great last year. He even locked up Brandon Cooks through that game versus the Rams. They're really improving. Obviously, like I said, a lot of these are interchangeable, and it's way too early to tell who's going to be a playoff-worthy team and who's going to be sitting there at mediocre or worse. But that's where I put the Packers.
I have the Panthers at 18, just because of the unknowns surrounding Cam Newton. But Christian McCaffrey's a beast. DJ Moore's turning up as a wide receiver a lot now. So, I mean, the Panthers are on the up. You know, they got the best middle linebacker in football still, Luke Kuechly. They got a decent secondary. I think the Panthers are going to be a solid 9-17 this next year, depending on Cam Newton's health. They might go 10-6. That's my opinion on
it. Okay. 17, I put Tennessee Titans. I think their defense is extremely talented. Their defense is underrated in how good it is, honestly.
They play well as a unit.
I think Marcus Mariota is a really good quarterback when he can stay healthy. I think there's been times where the help around him really hasn't worked out that well because Corey Davis has not played that well.
You have the Titans above the Packers.
Yes, we're moving on past this, Heithem. Come on, dude. Anyways.
Wrap it up.
Anyways, I think Mariota's really good when he's healthy. If he can get help, and Corey Davis and A.J. Brown both play up to their potential, they could be a really good team and have a really good season with Derrick Henry pounding the ball too. They could be, I think they're a playoff team, honestly, if they play up to their potential. So we'll see.
I mean, my 17 is the Minnesota Vikings. I have them a little bit down from where Austin's going to have them at. I think Kirk Cousins will keep him at the middle of the pack team. They're in the same boat, I think, as the Tennessee Titans. Okay. Awkward quarterback situation, great defense, good run game. Questionable they don't have questionable wide receivers.
Not questionable wide receivers.
Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. But Kyle Rudolph don't know where he's going to be. I just think they can beat any team, but I feel like they're going to lose a decent amount of games. I think they go 9-7 and miss the playoffs again with Kirk Cousins under the helm.
All right. 16, I put Pittsburgh just because of the amount of talent offensively that they've lost. Antonio Brown was a beast. Okay, you can't deny that.
I didn't say he was bad.
Antonio Brown was a beast. Their defense is questionable. Joe Hayden's getting up there in age. I think T.J. Watt's an insanely good player. I think their defense is still a good team. But I think they're still a good team overall. I think James Washington will take a step up in his second year. James Conner will probably be about what he was. He was great at the beginning of the year, and then kind of everything slowed down because teams figured out how to stop him.
Yeah.
Big Ben seems to really be working towards being a way better leader this year, it seems.
And he's not slowing down passing.
So that should drive everything up. But we'll see what the Steelers can do.
I have the Baltimore Ravens at 16. I think the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, they can beat anyone. They're a dynamic football team. I think they're going to be this next year. I think Lamar Jackson's going to pass the ball a lot. I'm going to have him marked at 3,300 passing yards. And 28 touchdowns, I think.
All right.
I think he'll throw a decent amount of time. I don't think he's going to run as much because it just doesn't last. You know what I mean?
And from what I've heard, getting Trace McSorley, the Ravens are going to try and use him like the Saints used Taysom Hill. Kind of just bring him in to run, and then he can throw a pass every once in a while just to keep him off balance.
I mean, yeah.
That's what it seems like at least.
I don't think they're going to do all that because, I don't know. But they did lose a couple key pieces on defense, but I think they're still going to be solid.
Losing C.J. Mosley and Eric Weddle will hurt a little bit, but if any coaching staff knows how to work around that, it's the Ravens.
Yeah, they always find defensive talent.
So at 15, I've got the Houston Texans. I did not like their draft that much. I think it was okay. I think Titus Howard.
It was fucking horrible.
Titus Howard was a huge reach.
It was fucking horrible.
He has so much room to move.
Dude,
he has so much room to work. He's not ready to start.
Why the fuck do I have the Texans at 11?
There were definitely...
That's a spoiler. My bad.
They definitely have better players available at the offensive line position. You know, Cody Ford still hadn't even been picked.
Yeah.
And he may not be a left tackle, but he can step in and help.
Play.
He can step in immediately and help defend
The Texans need to literally improve at every position on the offensive line besides left tackle. I mean, Dwayne Brown's got to go sometime. He's 34 years old, man.
Haithem's getting mad. I don't know, man. But I mean, really, Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback, but he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, he's got Hopkins to throw to, who's arguably the best receiver in football. Had 0 drops last year on 116 receptions, which is absolutely insane.
I mean, Tyreek Hill's still better.
Anyways, their D-line is still beastly, having J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, their defense is going to be good again.
Matthew.
But...
It's about Chiefs. That's right, bitch.
Anyways, I got the Texans at 15.
My 15 is the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan, great, solid quarterback. He can lead you to the Super Bowl. He can even win you the Super Bowl if he doesn't blow a 28-3 lead. The Falcons, great defensive young stars, Keanu Neal, Deion Jones. You got Grady Jarrett at the defensive tackle position. You got, I can't think of it, Tack McKinley at edge rushing. He's a great player. Devondre Campbell at linebacker. You got solid corners and, what's his name? Desmond Trufant.
There you go.
That's his name. Wide receivers, Julio Jones, the best wide receiver in football. You got
Calvin Ridley.
Great receiver helping with Calvin Ridley. You got
And
a great
Mohamed
running
Sanu.
back, Devontae Freeman. Mohamed Sanu, he could throw a touchdown too. that rhymed. That rhymed.
Haithem's out here trying to be a rapper on
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, sign me up. Austin Hooper at tight end. I mean, I think the Falcons are severely overrated. I'm just waiting to see how their injuries turn out. I'm at 15.
Okay. I put the Falcons at 14 actually. The only reason they're not higher, honestly, is just they have razor thin depth everywhere. I mean, if Devontae Freeman goes down, you don't have Tevin Coleman to back him up anymore. I mean, they have absolutely no depth anywhere, but they're very talented on the top end of their roster.
Yeah, for sure. At 14, for me, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson getting that massive contract is great for his new house. It's not good for that football team. Their O-line still sucks.
We got it done.
Their wide
Seattle.
receivers still suck. DK Metcalf can't run a flag route to save his mother's life. I'm sorry, DK. If you ever hear this, don't hurt me.
I still think Tyler Lockett mocking
take that
Russell
back.
Wilson for that video is hilarious.
I take that back. I feel like if we ever get big one day.
He doesn't. Okay, the 3 routes that he needs to be able to run: slant,
Post.
curl, post,
Okay.
or go.
Yeah.
That's all he has to do,
A straight line.
and he can do that.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
I think pro agility really isn't that much of a
defense-
thing. Because
defense-
Calvin Johnson's pro agility would have been awful.
Okay, dude. Whatever.
I mean, you can get away with it
Whatever,
without having
dude.
great
Don't
pro
wanna
agility
hear it.
scores.
Don't.
He just wants
It
the
is
Seahawks
my
to be
turn
awful.
to talk.
Okay.
The Seahawks, 14. Okay. Defense is still solid. They got the what? Oh, fuck, what's her name? Oh, no.
So much preparation,
Oh,
everybody. You
no.
see what I'm working with, right?
I'm working a
if
lot,
you wanna,
man.
if you want to support me, please DM me on Instagram.
The Griffin brothers, that's what their names are. Jesus. Oh. Cam Chancellor did retire, sadly. Earl Thomas is gone. But I still have him at 14 because of Russell Wilson, and he'll individually win you 7 games.
Yeah. I mean, Russell Wilson's obviously one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
All right, 13. Who's your 13?
My 13's Seattle. I think losing Doug Baldwin's gonna hurt a lot more people.
That's
than
why I
people
had him
realize.
dropped,
Yeah, I think losing Doug Baldwin's gonna be a huge pain for them. I think Seattle's defense, they always seem to find talent. I'm not really worried about them losing people because they've seemed to replace everybody pretty easily. Russell Wilson getting his huge contract is obviously gonna be a little bit painful towards them signing any free agents or anything like that. But I do think Tyler Lockett can hold it down decently as a number 2. I think DK is going to be their number 1 receiver, and I think DK getting him that late was a pretty good pick. But I think Seattle's a playoff team. I'm not sure how deep they can go, but I guess we'll find out.
My 13 is the Cleveland Browns. Don't hate me, okay? Don't. Look, I think best roster on paper in the NFL.
They definitely
On
have one of the
paper,
best ones.
they have top 5 roster in the NFL. The noise is what's going to hurt the Browns. I have them going 10-6 or 11-5. I think Baker will win you 3 games by himself alone. Myles Garrett, a absolute animal on the defensive line. They also traded, but they did trade one of their offensive linemen. What's his name? The right guard.
Can't remember who it is.
They traded him to the Giants.
I know.
For Olivier Vernon.
Anyways.
But yeah, so the Kareem Hunt, he's a great running back when he's not kicking women. I know. I'm a Chiefs fan. That hurts.
Hey, he's probably
Odell
the best
Beckham
kicker in
Jr.
the league.
Yeah, Odell Beckham Jr., great receiver when he's not snorting cocaine in Paris. That's so rude. Don't ever. If we ever
You're just pissing off a ton of NFL players today.
I know.
I really hope you don't try to meet any of these people.
I don't hope we ever get famous.
I mean, I can meet them. You can't.
I'm just playing around. I'm just
about
playing around.
anyone.
I don't actually think Odell was snorting cocaine in Paris. It was just sugar for the pizza. Okay? But Denzel the Warden, He's a god, all right? He's going to play great again this next year. I think their worst position is linebacker, but they're still solid at that. I think the noise is going to hold them back, and I don't think they're going to win the division.
Okay. At 12, I have the Vikings, actually. I thought getting Garrett Bradbury was a great pick. I think he'll play into Dalvin Cook's strength big time, letting Cook run a lot easier going up the middle. Getting Dalvin Cook back overall will be being a great help to that offense, especially. I think Kirk Cousins is better than people give him credit for, and I think his offensive line was terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Bradbury will be a huge help to that offensive line, though.
Did you just... It's
I'm
my
done.
12.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You're
My 12 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not going to talk about it too much. We talked about it earlier, so I agree basically with everything that Austin said.
I feel like you're not even trying here.
I'm just not trying to waste people's time.
Okay. All right, my 11. I know Haithem's gonna be mad because I have them this far down, but I have the Cowboys.
Oh, I thought, dude, I heard it. I thought you were gonna say the Chiefs. I was about to go off.
Oh man, honestly, I think I considered putting Dallas lower, but I think their roster is really good from top to bottom. I think Dak is not very good, and for them to have any shot at really going deep in the playoffs, he's going to have to take a huge step forward. Zeke is going to have to stay on the field for sure, and he's going to have to carry their offense in all honesty. Amari Cooper is a good receiver. I don't think he's elite, but I think he's good. They really don't have much depth at receiver or really anywhere besides offensive line. Their defensive line doesn't look very good. They've had guys get suspended and get in trouble. All they really got on D-line is D-Law. Their secondary is questionable. You have Byron Jones, who's obviously really good. I think they should have drafted Nasir Adderley big time in the draft to help solve their safety problems, but they didn't. Their linebackers are obviously two of the best in the league. Vander Esch. Anyways, we're going to let Haitham talk now.
All right. My 11 is the Houston Texans. I think Deshaun Watson doesn't get enough credit as he deserves, even though I think he's still this is going to sound weird. I think he's a tad bit overrated, but in certain areas. I think for working with what he has at offensive line, I think he's underrated. Deshaun Watson can lead this team to the playoffs. He's shown you that before. I hope he can make the next step. That's what I want to see from Deshaun Watson. I do have them at 11 because of their defensive talent, even though they lost Tyrann Mathieu. I think they'll be a playoff team next year, and I see 10 wins out of them.
All right. Sorry about the laugh here a second ago. I just saw what Haitham was looking at on his phone. Made me crack up a little bit. But at 10, I put the Browns, and I think they could be a lot higher depending on how the coaching works out and how well they knock out the sound from outside. They obviously have one of the best teams on paper, but it'll be interesting to see how well it translates to the field. Your turn, buddy.
My 10 is the Green Bay Packers for one reason and one reason only. That man, Aaron Rodgers. There goes that man, Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I cannot tell you how much I love Aaron Rodgers.
Shouldn't you hate Aaron Rodgers? He did beat the Cowboys.
Shut up. I don't
twice.
care. I don't care that much.
Says the guy sitting here, he's got a Cowboys jersey custom made with his last name on it.
I was also 12, alright? Stop. Why are you putting me on blast, bro?
Alright,
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win their division at 11-5. I think they had great defensive pickups, and I think they're going to have a top 10 defense, and I think they're going to make the divisional round, maybe even the conference championship, and if they make it to the conference championship, guess what we're going to see? Aaron Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
So fast? I feel like you're about to sell me a car or something.
I'm like hyped, bro. I
love
love
it. About to sell me a car or something over here. He's just, alright, we got this car coming over here. We got Anyways, okay, at 9, I put the Baltimore Ravens. I think they lost some key defensive pieces. 9, yeah. I think they're a lot better. I think Hollywood Brown is going to open up that offense big time.
Yeah.
It's going to open a ton of running lanes because he's going to be running 70 yards downfield and say, here, throw it right here. Literally, Lamar Jackson has to catch the ball and then just throw it up 60 yards downfield, and Hollywood Brown will just run under it and take it to the end zone. I think getting Mark Ingram is an upgrade at running back. I think they're going to have a really good season. Like we talked about earlier, their defense lost some pieces, but if anybody's good at replacing them, it's the Ravens coaching staff. You're up, buddy. Number 9.
All right, number 9, cracking into our top 10 again for me is the Eagles. All right, whatever.
Yeah, the one who
Eagles
said they were not top 10 at all last week.
That was
completely went
That
off
was
saying
me.
they were not a good team.
All right, Carson Wentz is good. I think he's a tad bit better than Dak Prescott. All right, I don't
Only
think
a
he's
tad?
that much better. Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't think he's that much better.
That's some controversy.
So, I think Carson Wentz, if he stays healthy, I think they can win 10 games. Their defensive line is absolutely phenomenal. They have a decent secondary. I think it needs a little bit of upgrading. They need to extend Malcolm Jenkins to make sure he's happy.
I'm not going to be worried about that until he skips
linebacker.
mandatory camp. If
Yeah.
he skips mandatory, then I'll say like, all right, we'd get this in motion. But until then,
Linebacker, they have good players coming back. Jordan Hicks is still there.
no, he's not. He's in Arizona.
Fuck, I knew I missed
They have
that.
Nigel Bradham, Kamu, Grugier Hill, Nate Jerry. The guy they signed L.J. Fort, who's been taking first team reps from the Steelers. He was from the Steelers.
Whatever.
From what I've heard, they have a UDFA.
All right,
I'll talk about him later.
You're good.
I'll talk about him later.
Whatever. All right. Wide receivers are solid. They got Deshaun Jackson, help bring him back in that nice green and white. You know, I think the Eagles are going to be a really good team next year. I think they're going to disappoint people a little bit because I feel like they're going to be a little bit overhyped. But I still think they're a top 10 team in the NFL.
I've seen them really underrated. I've seen a ton of people put them as average at best.
Yeah, I don't
which is
agree
just
with that.
insane to me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But at 8, I put the Chicago Bears. I think losing their defensive coordinator will hurt their defense some. And I think keeping the pace that they had last year with all the turnovers they were forcing is just insane to think they can do that.
It's the same thing that happened to Jacksonville. I
don't think it's possible to continue doing what they're doing. For them to really have another good season like they did last year, Trubisky's going to have to take a leap forward in being a good quarterback in the NFL.
My number 8 is the Dallas Cowboys. Do you have them higher than the Eagles?
No.
Where'd you have them at?
I had them at 11.
Oh, yeah, you had a little 11.
I put them at 11.
Yeah. So, I think the Cowboys, I think they're going to play very well next year. I think they're going to win 11 to 12 games. I think the Cowboys are going to win their division. I think the Cowboys
Which
are going to do
hasn't
very
happened
well.
since 2004. Back-to-back NFC East champs. Hasn't happened since the Eagles did it 2003 and 2004.
Crazy to think. It's such a competitive division. And you never know. Barring injuries, any suspensions, etc., I think they will win a lot of games. I think they have a great defense. They just have problems with cap. And that's all I have to say about it. I don't want to talk any more about it because I'll cry.
Oh, they have huge problems with cap.
Okay, yeah, but we already talked about that in another video. Make sure to check it out.
Check out the first episode of the podcast. We broke down the NFC East. Anyways, at 7, Heitham's going to be real upset about this. I put the Chiefs.
You put the Chiefs
Yep.
at 7. By
I put
God.
the Chiefs at 7.
By God.
Because somehow
By God.
the worst defense in the league got even worse.
How? You can't. You can't get worse.
They did.
Talk.
They
Talk.
somehow did.
Talk. Just talk. I'm
They
mad at
lost
you.
key players on pass rush.
Who?
Justin Houston.
Didn't do shit.
T. Ford.
Didn't do shit.
Anyways,
He cost us a Super Bowl run.
Heithem is sitting here, and his whole philosophy on this is just Tyrann Mathieu will tackle everyone
Yes, he will.
before
Darren Lee is a great. No.
Heithem is sitting. Shit! he just spilled his water over on his
I
keyboard.
didn't. There's nothing.
Almost. But
That-
Haithem's philosophy here is Darren Lee, Anthony Hitchens, and Tyrann Mathieu are literally just going to
What?
tackle
Chris Jones,
and
the best
intercept
defensive lineman,
every
young defensive
single
lineman in the NFL.
player on every play.
Okay, what?
You can talk about Chiefs later when it's your turn.
Whatever,
Yeah,
bro.
there you go. Stop
Hurry
getting
up.
mad. Haithem's getting mad because the
I'm
Chiefs are
pissed.
so low.
I'm pissed.
I noticed. You were just hyped trying to sell me the Packers.
Whatever, dude.
It's your pick, dude. Come on. Number
Bears
7.
at 7. I'm not going to touch more about it. They did lose Jordan Howard. I think that's going to affect him a little bit. I think I have them this ranked this high because I hope that they can keep the same pace that they have. I know they will not. That's why they're going to fall further in my next power ranking. Sorry, Bears fans. No bear down for me.
Alright, guys. I'm sorry. I think I made Haitham really sad putting the Chiefs down here. So if you want to make it up to him, you could hit the subscribe button. That would help us
Or
out
the
a
like
ton.
button.
Or the like and the subscribe would be great.
Or follow me on Instagram.
You could do that too. Anyways, at 6, I put the Rams, which is going to be questionable
Wow.
because I don't think they really made many improvements throughout the
They had the
offseason.
best roster in the NFL.
I think you still have to look to improve, and they didn't really do that. I think Todd Gurley's knee is a bigger issue than a lot of people are trying to let on. they've already said his touches are going to be dropped a ton to try and make his career last longer. I think Goff is a solid quarterback who looked absolutely horrible at times last year. I mean, you go back and watch. Sean McVay set him up perfectly.
The Bears game?
The Bears game, he was set up perfectly, too, with the game plan, and Goff just couldn't handle it.
He fucking threw like 4 picks.
Goff just seemed to fall apart at times. The Super Bowl, he was terrible. I mean, Brandon Cooks had the game-winning touchdown. If he throws that ball half a second earlier. And, I mean, really, the Rams are just a big question mark, especially how long those big attitudes are going to be able to mesh in that locker room without everything just blowing into pieces.
All right, my 6 is the Indianapolis Colts. I think Andrew Luck is good. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think...
You stated your dissatisfaction with Luck last week.
Yeah, I did. I did bash Luck. I'm sorry. I do like Luck, but I don't think he can... I don't think he can win you a championship. I'm sorry, all right? I have him this high because Okay, he could probably win you a championship. I can't rank the Colts that high. Okay, I'm done. He can win you a championship if he goes through the dome. Okay, that's what I said. He can't play outdoors. All right, you have a lot of cap room. A lot of cap room. You have the best young offensive line in football. You have great wide receivers who are underrated AF. All right, a great defense. Darius Leonard was he All-Pro first team?
Yes.
Yeah, great player.
And Rookie of the Year.
Great. And Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's a godsend, all right? You have, who's the safety?
Malik Hooker.
Malik Hooker.
Who's, from what I've heard, it feels extremely well this year. This is the best he's felt since he left college. Since he went to college.
That's good. All right. So, yes, Colts 6, lots of cap room, good quarterback, a lot of talent.
I put the Colts at 5, so I'm not going to touch on this too much. I think their running back is a lot better than people seem to be giving him credit for. I know a lot of people were saying that they need to go out and get a running back.
Above the Chiefs. Oh, my God.
I like what they have done. I think Marlon Mack is really good, actually.
Underrated.
Their coaching staff has been amazing, it seems like. But that's all I'm really going to say on the Colts. I do think they're a good enough team they can make a run at a Super Bowl.
All right. My 5 is the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the Chargers have probably the second best all-around roster in the NFL, but I think what's holding them back is Phillip Rivers. They have great defensive talent. Casey Hayward, Derwin James, Joey Bosa. I'm obviously missing names, but they're a great defensive team. Offensively, you have Keenan Allen, which one of the...
Mike Williams. Tyrell Williams is the one that's with the Raiders now.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams left to the
Raiders. Which I do think was a good pickup for the Raiders.
Yeah, it was good, but... running back, you have Melvin Gordon. You have a great young offensive line. Hunter Henry at tight end. Is Antonio Gates coming back?
He was out the entire year last year.
Yeah,
Antonio Gates is still a free agent, I think.
Oh, but yeah. So I think the Chargers are going to be great. I don't think they're going to win the division because they have to play against the Chiefs, who we'll talk about later. Fuck you. Awesome.
Calm down. Anyways, I put the Chargers at 4. I think losing Tyrell Williams hurts a little bit, not that much. Obviously, they have a ton of talent on offense and defense. I think one pickup that you missed that I think is going to make possibly the biggest impact of them all is Nasir Adderley being the running man opposite of Derwin James, which is just going to be insane for them. But the Chargers are insane. They could make a run at a Super Bowl easily, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think they can with Phillip Rivers, though.
I think Phillip Rivers is pretty good. From what I mean, even Champ Bailey has talked about it. He's been like, yeah, Phillip Rivers, his balls look like they're floating. They're not. He's like, he's just placing them wherever the hell he wants, and he'll let you know about it.
Man can't pull it out of a parking garage. I'm sorry.
All right, who's your 4?
My 4th is the New Orleans Saints. I think they take a step back a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I think they pull back because of Drew Brees' age. I love Drew Brees to death. They have a great team around him. Teron Armstead at left tackle. A great running back.
You are making some friends from this podcast.
Yeah.
Just not DK Metcalf or Odell.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Don't beat me up. All right. Michael Thomas, I think, is a tad bit overrated, but he's still a great receiver. Defensively, you got Marcus Williams. I love Marcus Williams. I think he's severely underrated at safety. You have Marshawn Lattimore, who was a tad bit overrated. He needed a wake-up call this year, and he got it finally. So I think he's going to come back better. Defensive line is solid with Cam Jordan. I think they're going to be a great team next year. They're going to win the NFC South, but I think they're going to pull back just a tad.
Okay. 3, I know you're going to hate this. I put the Eagles, obviously. I told you last week this is where I was going to put them. I told you last week. I think Carson Wentz, when healthy, is an MVP candidate. I think Malik Jackson standing next to Fletcher Cox in the middle is going to be unstoppable. I mean, good luck offensive line stopping Malik Jackson, Fletcher Cox, and Brandon Graham. and a healthy Derek Barnett if he takes a step forward. They added great running back talent to help an offense that had one of the worst running games in the league last year. They had Jordan Howard for a 6th-round pick and Miles Sanders in the 2nd. They obviously have an insanely amount of talented players throughout both sides of the team, and I love their coaching staff. I think they can make a push for a Super Bowl.
They can definitely make a push for a Super Bowl. My number 3 is I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs.
It is.
I have the Chiefs at 3. I think they pull back a little bit because of the uncertainty around Tyreek Hill. If Tyreek Hill wasn't uncertain, I'd have him at number 1. I think the Chiefs have the best quarterback in the NFL in Patrick Mahomes. He is the MVP. He is the next GOAT. Tom Brady's going to have to hand that torch over, old man. All right? Mahomes is next up. All right? Tyrann Mathieu.
Calm down. You're going to ruin some people's hearing.
I'm sorry.
Anybody listen to this in earbuds, I'm sorry for just Heithem destroying your ears, probably.
Chris Jones, a defensive line. Great pass rusher. I think they're going to be very, very good next year. I think people are thinking they're going to pull back. I think they're still going to win 12 to 13 games, and I think they're going to make a very good chance at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I had the Saints as my number 2 team. I think you were right. A big question mark about the Saints is going to be, is Drew Brees going to take a step back because of age? They have a ton of talent. I think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was a great pick in the 2nd round. He's an absolute ball hawk. They have talent all around. I'm not going to keep rambling because he's already talked about the Saints, but I do think they're going to have a really good year.
Yeah. Rams, I have them at 2. Just because I think Goff is going to play solid next year, but I think Sean McVay is probably going to be the next offensive guru. I think he's going to be an Andy Reid type guy with a lot less weight. Sorry, Andy. Yeah, I love you, but you like Big Macs more than you love me. All right, whatever. But yeah, I think the Rams are going to be great. They have the best roster in the NFL. They have the best coach in the NFL, in my opinion, offensive-wise. But I think the only thing holding them back is going to be Jared Goff. It really depends on how well Jared Goff plays. You have all the talent in the world around you.
Yeah,
see what you can do about it. We both have the Patriots at number 1.
I don't think you can bet against Brady and Belichick.
You can't.
As long as they're together.
I'm tired of doing it.
As long as they're together.
I have seen my Chiefs lose to the Patriots like 3 out of the last 4 years in the playoffs. Actually, wait. Last year we lost to
It's basically the Raptors and Cleveland. Or who was it that the Raptors always... No, the Raptors and somebody.
Well, it's like all my favorite teams lose to the same teams. The Rockets have lost to the Warriors.
Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of.
The
Rockets always lose to the Warriors.
The Chiefs always losing to the Patriots or choking a 21-0 lead against Texas, the Titans. But, whatever. We would have lost to the Patriots that year anyway, so... we still would have lost to the Patriots anyway. It's really annoying that the Chiefs always lose to the Patriots, but, it's whatever. As long as Tom Brady and Belichick are alive for the next 15 years, I'll probably see him win 15 more Super Bowls. I'm so tired of it, but, it's just the world we got to live in. The Patriots are a dynasty. They draft really well. They sign very well. They keep people at a very discounted rate. They always seem to have cap room. Brady never wants a max contract because he's dating a supermodel wife who makes $400 million.
At this pace, Brady's going to retire after I do.
Yeah, and you're not even going to play.
No, Brady's going to retire after I do from my whatever career.
But I think that is our power rankings.
Yep.
1 through 32, it was kind of similar, but it was kind of varied at the same rate.
We agreed on more things during this than we have in our entire lives.
We agreed at like 5 things, I think, actually. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like, make sure to hit the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is me and Austin, and we're signing out.
See you later, guys.